One of the core tenets we preach at Talbot West a lot is for companies to start thinking more in terms of interoperability and modularity instead of these siloed black box solutions. And there are a number of reasons for that related to agility, future-proofing, and all sorts of other things. But a big one is the avoidance of technical debt.
Technical debt is usually accumulated by companies either not understanding the full picture or ramifications of what they're doing, or by taking shortcuts to move quickly. So for instance, there might be two different ways to solve a problem, and your technical team comes to you and says, well, this one will only take 2 weeks, but it's going to be held together by shoestring and baling wires. And you're like, okay, well, what's the alternative? And it's a 4-month process, and we're going to have to get a lot of other stakeholders involved, but it'll be more stable, more secure. And spoiler alert, I can tell you which one most companies choose. And it ends up with like a very brittle technical infrastructure. This is a real good example of technical debt. Companies start small with only a couple people, and they can email all of their back office information around in Excel spreadsheets. And that works great when you're a 5-person company. But even you scale that up to a 50 or 100-person company, it's like all of a sudden emails, people are overriding each other's changes, and you need to get to versioning and expand that up to the enterprise level where you have thousands of stakeholders involved. Technical debt becomes this burden. The promise of AI is a force multiplier. It's magnifying the efficiencies that can be created, but it's magnifying your existing technical debt. What happens when you try to automate each piece of that? The pieces that actually are efficient, that have a good roadmap, that have a good architecture, you see a 10x return on automating those right off the top. I can count on one hand the number of companies that I've run into that actually have a well-documented suite of all of their business processes, the endpoints, the inputs, the translations. The companies that do get that, which is only, in my experience, through us coming in and doing like a full-fledged digital transformation roadmap, but they are ripe for this AI transformation without incurring technical debt in a way that companies that don't have that visibility into their business processes couldn't even hope to dream of.
Instead of just sprinkling some AI on top of a giant technical rat's nest and hoping that the AI magically makes the rat's nest transform into something super efficient, it's just going to magnify the rat's nest. So you want to actually sort out the rat's nest, then add AI to the cleaned up and highly efficient foundation.